Hey, this is David with the Casualties. This story goes back maybe 12 years. I was in a band called the Crumb Bums, and we were on a massively awesome tour with a band called the Uncurbed from Sweden, World Burns to Death from Austin, a band called Keg Charge from Dallas. And in Keg Charge is the bass player singer. His name is Hardcore James. And Jack, the singer of World Burns to Death, is very funny, but you have to get to know him to know his humor. So one night, me and Hardcore James stayed up. I think we were in Asheville, North Carolina. We had a bottle very similar to this old granddad, and everybody was exhausted, and all they wanted to do is sleep. And we were at this pretty crusty house. I remember there was like pelts, like beaver pelts or squirrel all over the front porch, and it was winter. There was snow, but everybody was like hardcore vegan. But in Asheville, they said, well, if you see it on the ground, you're not hurting it, and it would be a waste to not, to let the pelt go. So they would make a skirt out of it. And I remember there was a little like leaflet. It said, if you see a dead animal, don't disregard it, make it into a skirt. And we would joke about that. So me and Hardcore James decided that we were gonna drink the entire bottle and eat all the chili that was in this kitchen. And we were laughing and just having a great time. And chili, whiskey makes you kind of gassy. And it was like a fucking movie. He would go, then I would go. I'd never done it, and I'd never seen anybody fart on command like this. And so Hardcore James also has a voice like, hey man, listen to this fart here. And he has this Texas voice, but we were laughing so fucking hard. And this went on for about 10 minutes, and we were hysterically, if this is drunk, we were like on the next side of this car. And somebody comes in, like one of the guys from the Uncurbed with his big, his Swedish voice. He's like, you guys need to shut the fuck up. We're trying to sleep in here. And Hardcore James just starts laughing and back to me. And eventually, after about another 5 or 10 minutes, Jack from World Burns to Death comes in, tells us to shut up. We continue about another 5 or 10 minutes. And I remember Jack comes back in, and he has this very serious voice, and he goes, we've already told you once. Do you intend on keeping us up for the rest of the night? And we looked at each other, and James goes, what the fuck kind of riddle is that? And we just started laughing. We were so drunk we didn't understand what he was saying. So we said, let's go outside. And it's snowing. It's like pouring down snow. And we decide like we have to take a piss, so we're going to go around on the side of the house. I go over to take a piss, and I turn around, and nobody's there. James had left, but I was so drunk that I didn't know what was going on. All I knew is that I was in the middle of these like two houses, and I was just lost, and I was scared. And so I'm just kind of staying there. About 2 or 3 minutes later, I see this stumbling coming at me. I had no clue what it was, if it was a fucking zombie or somebody trying to kill me. And I fell down on the snow, and I started putting snow like on top of me. And James comes over and he goes, get up, pussy, it's me. And we walk inside. I asked him the next morning what happened. He was so drunk, he went to take a piss. He went into the wrong house, and he started yelling like, why'd you fucking assholes turn all the lights off on me? And upstairs he heard this little old lady say, hello, is somebody down there? So that was a long story of a very funny night. So here is something, this is ridiculous that this happened to me. But Casualties, we just finished a tour last winter, and we were in New York State, and we had to drive all the way back to Austin to bring the van. We were like, we gotta get home, we're fucking tired. We were leaving that tour and in 2 weeks going to Europe. So we wanted to come home and just rest, zonk out. So it was me, Rick, and Meggers. and we drove nonstop from New York to Texas. 5-hour switch, 5-hour switch, 6-hour switch, 3-hour switch, whatever it was. As long as you could drive, the next person, we just get up and go, 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 go. We get into Texas, and I did this like long ass drive. Like I was driving for about 7 hours, and I was so tired, but I was kind of caffeinated and everything. So I got into my little spot, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to get some sleep. I feel crazy. So I took some NyQuil, and I'm just gonna crash out. And at this point, the van was a wreck, and it was just dirty clothes. We hadn't had a washer or dryer. So I laid here, and I had put clothes all over me because it was cold. And kind of in that weird NyQuil sleep, I feel the van stop, and Meggers runs. I see him, you know, he runs in to use the bathroom, but it was at like one of these rest area stops. But it was right outside of Austin. The rest stop was also a place for people to go underground in case a tornado comes. So it had 2 huge bathrooms, and they both looked exactly the same. They're called like storm somethings. So I see Meggers run in, and I can tell he's running in to just piss real fast so we can keep going. And I tried to lay there, but I had to piss so bad, and I was like, no, I'll wait. But I knew I'd have to piss. So who knows how long went by, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute. I get up and I run inside. Just out at like an eighth of a second, I kind of noticed that there's 2 sides, but this quick. And I run into the bathroom, and I go in, and I make like a weird, you know, voice, Meggers. I don't hear anything. So I just kind of assume he's being grumpy and doesn't want to talk. Maybe he's sitting down or something. So I take a piss, but it's like eerie quiet. And I zip up, and I'm walking out, and I remember that split second of seeing the other bathroom, and it hits me. Oh my God, he went in on the other side. I go, fuck God, please, 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 please don't let them leave me. Because when I went to sleep, I was gonna get comfortable in my little area. I put my phone and my wallet. That all hit me. I run outside. The van was gone. They were gone. At that second, you know, like when you're past crying, I did like a breath like, there was nobody there except for some weirdo guy, like this old man with a dog, and he was making coffee on a burner. I was like, fuck, I had no money, no change. There's not even payphones anywhere. I didn't have my phone. And I went up to this guy, and I was like, dude, I know this seems weird, but I'm in a band. My van left. I think they thought I was inside. So I don't know Meggers' phone number. Everything's on our phone. So I had to call my mom. So of course, like right when she answers, it's like 4 in the morning. I'm like, Mom, nothing's wrong. Any mom always thinks the worst, like I'm dead, even if it's my voice. Is this the ghost? But I was like, Mom, I need you to look through your phone. Do you have Meggers' number? Didn't have Meggers' number. But luckily, she lived about 30 minutes north of there. So she came to get me, and my mommy had to drive me all the way back home. When she picked me up, I called Meggers, and he was freaking out. He was like, oh my God, dude, we got back, and we thought you were still asleep in the van, and we were yelling, David, get up. So always make sure you have your phone.